What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video. Please like, comment, and subscribe because it really helps me out, and I genuinely appreciate it. In this video, I'm going to be responding to another comment, so let's get right into it. All right, so we have a comment from the Goose Loose. Shout out to you, bro. I appreciate you commenting. He says, "Hey, bro, love the videos, man. Also informative. I was hoping if you could do a video of a breakdown of the timeline of SIU from each phase. More specifically, when exactly does phase two start after finishing phase one, so on and so forth. Does an apprentice get to go home after phase one or phase two, etc.? Appreciate it." All right, so let me start with the easiest question, and that's the last question. Does an apprentice get to go home after phase one or phase two? In the old program, after phase one, they would send you home. You would go home, and you would basically wait for the port office to find you a ship. They would send you your itinerary, your ship information, etc., and you would fly out from the airport that was closest to your house. In the new program, that's not the case. After you complete phase one, you'll be known as what's called idle. Basically, you don't have any more classes anymore. You're waiting for the port office to find you a ship, but you stay on campus. You still have to follow all the rules. You still have to march. You'll most likely be working in the galley a lot more than you would like. You'll probably be assigned details around the campus. Basically busy work until they find you a ship. So the faster you find a ship, the better, so you don't have to do all that busy work. Now, as for phase two, you definitely do go back home. Remember, you're on that ship for 60 days. You're an apprentice on that ship, so you'll be on there for at least that amount of time, maybe longer. I was on there for much longer. It just depends on the contract and wherever the ship goes. You go home after that. Remember, you have to send in your C project, your discharge papers, your MMC application for your new endorsement. And, depending on your department and how long it takes for them to grade your C project, you could be home not for a long amount of time, or you could be home for quite a while. I was home for 75 days. That's a decent amount of time. And depending on if you're in the deck department, you definitely have to wait for your new merchant mariner credential to come in, because you can't sail on your phase three ship unless you have RFPNW. So there's that aspect as well. So you definitely do go home after your phase two ship. Now, back to the timeline of all of the phases that you have to take for the SIU apprenticeship. I know the information, but I just wanted to make sure that the information I think I know is accurate. So I did a little research and I went on Reddit and I found somebody named Razor on Deck. Shout out to you. And he basically posted pictures of a book that you all will get within the first couple of days of attending phase one at Piney Point. In this book, in the beginning of the book, it outlines the full timeline of the SIU apprenticeship, phases one through four. So let's just get into it. If you are in the deck department, your phase one, 16 weeks, these are the classes that you will be taking in those 4 months. If you're in the engine department, these are the classes that you will be taking in those 4 months of phase one. And if you're in the steward department, these are the classes that you will be taking for phase one in those 4 months. Now let's go all the way back. As you know, phase one is 16 weeks or 4 months. If you are in the deck or the engine department, for phase two, you're on a ship for 60 days. If you're deck department, you'll be an OS or an ordinary seaman. If you're in the engine department, you will be a wiper. You'll both be paid apprenticeship wages during your phase two. So you'll be on your phase two ship for 60 days, and you are required to complete a phase two C project. Now, for deck and engine department, for phase three, you're on a ship for 120 days. But on this ship, you're not being paid apprenticeship wages. You're going to be paid standard contractual wages for an ordinary seaman or for a wiper. And on your phase 3 ship, you will have to complete a phase 3C project. I don't know why it says phase 4 right there. That's just a typo. It's a phase 3C project. So for both phase 2 and phase 3 for the deck and engine department, you will have to complete a C project. Now, after you complete phase 2 and 3 for the deck department, you go back to Piney Point for phase 4. So you'll be in class for 3 weeks at Piney Point, and you will be taking your class to upgrade to an able-bodied seaman. If you're in the engine department for phase 4, you go back to Piney Point for a month, and you'll be taking the FOWT class to upgrade to an oiler. After that, you have completed the apprenticeship program, and you will get a probationary B book. Now, for the steward department, their phase 2 is 200 days of sea time as a steward assistant. I'm not sure if they break that up into 2 trips. One of the women that was in my class, and she went in the steward department. She's on her second ship, so I think they do split up the those 200 days. So for phase 2 in the steward department, you have to sail for 200 days as a steward assistant. The thing that's great about the steward department is that they're being paid contractual wages as a steward assistant. There is no apprentice uh, steward assistant in SIU. That's pretty cool. So after they complete their 200 days of sea time, they go back to Piney Point for phase 3 for 5 weeks to upgrade to a certified chief cook. And that's the timeline for all 3 departments. I also forgot to mention that for phase 3, you definitely do go home. You have to go home and send in your discharge papers and your C project. They have to grade those, so you can be eligible to go back to Piney Point for phase 4 to upgrade. So just wanted to say that as well. And yeah, shout out to the Goose Loose. Hopefully I explained that in a way that made sense. God bless everybody that's in the program and is striving to get in the program. I wish you the very best. Just to recap, deck and engine has 4 phases, and the steward department has 3. It's not that hard of a program. You just have to put your time in and you'll be fine. And that's about it, you guys. Until the next one, you guys have a good day.